Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. Our topic for today will be the three simple rules that will help you win the SEO game. If you like the sound of that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. And also, this is episode 99, which is pretty cool on the Engine Builder Show. Tomorrow we'll be doing episode 100, so definitely tune in for that. It's exciting. We've been doing this for a few months now, and I've really enjoyed being able to show up on a daily basis and just show you, share with you what I'm learning, things that can be helpful and useful to your business. And so if you're enjoying this, definitely leave a comment down below. Thank you, Michelle, and or reach out with any questions. I'd love to have your feedback and anything else that you want to hear more about on the show as we evolve this more. So just like Jethro mentioned, we're going to talk about three simple rules that will help you win the SEO game. And we talk about SEO a fair amount on this show intentionally because rule number one is remembering and realizing that SEO can be one of the biggest drivers of success for your business. It's one of the biggest traffic sources available. It takes time to build up. It takes time to invest in it. But when it's done right, we have clients who have 20, 30, 40, even up to 100,000 a month in unique visitors to our websites. We've worked on projects where our clients are getting, millions of visitors per month. And there's really nothing that replaces that high intent search traffic. So when somebody, when somebody's searching for information or to solve a problem, they go to Google. And yes, there are a couple other search engines, but essentially, the main thing to pay attention to is Google, because it's the biggest search engine, has the biggest market share. And once you're successful in Google, all the other search engines follow suit. So it's definitely one of the biggest traffic sources. And so making sure that you play well, SEO wise, and that you're getting results and that you're getting increasing traffic month over month is what's key. Because in the long run, ideally, in a lot of cases, you can have a business where a huge, chunk of your business comes directly from search engine optimization, right from that search traffic. So just remember, it's one of the biggest traffic sources available in the world, and it's high intent. When people are searching for something, they want to solve it right now. They want to learn about it right now. They're in the mode of searching and hunting and looking for something to learn or looking for a solution to their problem. And so that puts them in a high intent learning or buying mode. And so it's a really valuable traffic. So that's first thing to remember. First rule is that SEO can, and, it's ultimately up to you where you invest, but can, and my recommendation definitely should be one of your big traffic sources for your business. The second thing to remember when you're thinking about your SEO, second rule that's really key is make sure that the content that you put out there beats everything else on the internet. And that's a tall order. I know that's not just something that I say, but it's actually something that we work to help our clients do. And we create what we call, there's a lot of different names for these in the SEO world, in the marketing world, but they're called pillar posts or cornerstone pieces or masterpieces, whatever you want to call the piece of content. It's a long form, high value piece of content that should be the authority and the most informative piece about that topic on the internet. And that means that somebody else is probably going to try to beat you when you write a long, article. You put videos, you put screenshots, you put things in there to really educate and serve your audience. Even if you make something that is the best on the internet today, somebody else may come along and try to beat you on it. And so all you have to do is then go back and update that content and make it even more exhaustive and useful. Because if you create content that solves the problem for the person that's searching for that information, that how-to, that guide, that solution, then not only are you actually serving the audience that you want to serve, but you're also serving Google's customer. And when you serve Google's customer better than anybody else serves Google's customer, Google sends you the traffic. It's pretty simple. If you think about, let's say there's 3 food trucks all lined up outside of your house or the office or wherever you're at or wherever you're working. And and before you walk out to choose one of the food trucks, you have to go through a greeter. And if that greeter was the gate that said, food truck number 1 has the best food, they're going to take the best care of you, it's going to be fast service, it's healthiest, that greeter at the door that would direct you to the food truck that you should buy from, that's Google. So Google is the one that has already checked out all 3 food trucks and figured out that this food truck has the best service, the best information, the healthiest stuff. They're gonna take the greatest care of you. They're just gonna automatically redirect people to that food truck. And the cool thing about having a website and doing SEO content is there's no line. As many people as want can view the content, can find it useful. Ultimately, there's some technical, issues that you look at it when you get a really high amount of traffic, but those are problems that all of us should wish for, because if we're getting substantial traffic, millions of visitors a month, then you can definitely monetize that, and it's well worth the investment to upgrade our hosting infrastructure, the technical backend, all those things. Those are things we help our clients with. But just remember that the best content is going to win. It needs to be the best content on the internet, because Google's job is to filter through the millions and billions of food trucks that are options and point the user to the one that's going to be the best one for that person to get what they need. So just remember, rule number 2 is create content that beats everything else on the internet and solves the reader's problems really effectively. And the third rule is to make sure that you're creating an excellent user experience. So there's multiple things that are part of that, but if you think back to recently, anytime that you were searching for something or you heard about a website and you put that web address in, or you clicked through from something you saw, and you just saw that slow loading in your browser, either on your phone or on your computer, and it was just loading and loading and loading, and it took more than 10 seconds to load, you probably just hit the back button or exited out of that window and went and looked for something else. That's not a great user experience, because when we want something now, and that's just how we are as humans, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so creating an excellent user experience, the first thing is to make sure that you have really fast page speed. Ideally, 1 second or less in load time is a great target. But if you're at 2 seconds or 3 seconds, that's okay. You want it to get faster over time, but there's plenty of tools that can measure this. There's Google has a page speed tool. You can just look up Google's page speed tool, and you can put your website in there, and you can see if you pass with a green, positive score, both on the desktop version and the mobile version. So that's one thing to look at. The other thing to take a look at is just pull up your website on your mobile phone and also on your tablet, and take a look and see, is it really easy to use? Is it user friendly on a mobile device? Is it user friendly on a tablet device? And then obviously same thing on a desktop. Most of your traffic these days in most niches, most industries is going to come on mobile devices. So you want to make sure the user experience is really strong there. And the other thing to take a look at is you look at your homepage, you look at your blog articles, you look at your content. Are the graphics, is the layout, is the design, the look and feel, does it really give that, that pleasant feeling? Does it make it easy to read? Have you laid it out in a way that it's just easy to read through? It's enjoyable. It's fun to be on your site. The more positive you make that user experience, the longer somebody's going to stay and read, the more relationship you're going to be able to build with them. And they're going to trust you and be willing to opt in or use your contact form or share your content. And so creating an excellent user experience is really key, because when we do that, everything else works well, in addition. So again, 3 rules just to remember is that number 1, rule 1 is that SEO can be one of the biggest sources of traffic. So it's something you should be aware of and consistently invest in. Rule number two is make sure that you create the best content on the internet about your subject. And that means taking your time to write things. It means being thorough in your research. It means coming up with, unique custom graphics and images that really illustrate your point. Really making your content the best on the internet. And continuing to update that content is going to have a huge impact on how your SEO works. And then the third thing is just remember to create an excellent user experience, from page speed to layout, how things look on mobile, tablets, and desktop devices, how somebody feels as they're reading your content, both in the style of how you're writing, and the graphic design and the visual layout. All of that is really key. So if you keep those 3 things in mind, you have the potential and the ability to win at the SEO game. If you need help with SEO, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to serve and help you there. And I look forward to having you on tomorrow's show, which, like I said, is our 100th episode. And so tune in then, and we will see you on the show. Thanks.